So, okay, those are my announcements.
No, you got a couple more. Okay. Did you announce something?
Okay.
Do the weather?
The weather? Okay, let's look at that. Oh my, look at this. Thursday rain, Friday, Saturday. Oh my goodness. Wow. We can only hope and pray for that. That would be a rare thing.
And then the seminar archives?
Okay.
Seminar archives are located at this tab right here.
You can see any of those that you're interested in from years past, thanks to Mr. Ed Crow.
And Isaac and other people.
Yeah, and everybody. I mean,
okay.
You guys have no idea what these people do for the Rendezvous and how much work they do behind the scenes to make this happen, because all of it's beyond me.
How many months before this?
Yeah, months and months.
To
Yes.
get started.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
So the All right, thanks. So the videos are up here, and then also the presentations. If there was PowerPoint slides or whatnot, so you have both. Like for instance, the presentation materials are right here.
Du bist da, ich habe dich nicht einmal auf der Bildschirm.
Now we're going to ask you all to put your cell phones on vibrate.
Ja, ich bin
during
hier,
this one.
aber ich kann dich nicht sehen. Nix sehen. How do I Okay. Du kannst uns sehen. Okay. Wir können dich nicht sehen, aber ich tue dich dann da auf dem Tripod drauf. Okay? He can see us. All right? And we can see him.
Okay.
That's all. We can put him on a tripod.
Yeah, sure.
Even so we don't see it.
That'd be great. Okay.
Okay, I put you on the tripod.
Should I read it?
Yeah, go ahead and just, yeah.
Andreas Martin from Germany is known as the Sausar, or carver of the boar. This has earned him the nickname of Sausanger, or wild boar carver. While he was a leader in the Freiburg Township Municipal Forest in north-central Germany, he discovered carving with a chainsaw as a personal hobby. Today with Stephie, they manage an active and vibrant attraction located in the beautiful mountainous environment, which features interactive forest experiences in a public-private forest. This is a large property that is a destination place for all to come and see chainsaw carved sculptures. A great passion of Andreas Martin has been to work with very large hardwood logs and carve life-size objects. This passion led Andreas to starting and hosting the world-renowned Husky Cup competition. This is where the world's best chainsaw carving teams come and compete. Andreas and Stephie are featured on the 2016 Ridgeway Chainsaw Carving Rendezvous t-shirt as an honor and recognition to their contribution to the art of chainsaw sculpture. And you can see more at their website, which I recommend that you go to. Should I continue? Stephie and Andreas came here probably in early 2000. 2003. And I remember that they came, they had a friend that lived in New Jersey that spoke English and called me and said, I have 2 German carvers that are coming to America. So they came and they brought their wonderful, I don't know what, the Oompa horns? Is that?
Okay, yeah.
And they came and they stood on the truck where we used to put all the carvings up on a semi, and they stood up there and played for us. It was absolutely beautiful. And little did I know that they came back the next couple years, and Stephie had said to his wife, I now know what we're going to do with our property. They became so inspired by all of you and by the fact that carvers got together and that this art form was an incredible thing. Andreas got it. He got it big time. So they went back, and with his property, he started inviting, I think the first year he invited 2 carvers from every continent.
600,
yeah. And they created sculptures that he incorporated into his building in Blockhausen. If any of you ever get an opportunity to go there, it is by far one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life. In 2009, they gave Rick and I an award for opening the world to chainsaw art. So we got to go there and experience the event while they were carving the miners of Freiburg. They actually had the miners dressed in costume and came and stood by the carvers, and each carver carved one of those guys. The likeness. Life, yes. They were live, and they carved them while they were standing there live. It was an incredible experience. The event center is beyond anything you will ever see. It's all post and beam. It's all carved. Just absolutely beautiful. I really hope everyone gets a chance to go there. And I think for Andreas's sake, many carvers here ask me, how can they get to the Husky Cup? And that's maybe something we can discuss with Andreas after this, to find out how carvers, or what they need to do to get his attention. So that led us to, we've never had an international carver on our shirt before. We've never featured them on the t-shirt. We've always wanted to recognize someone that does something important for the art of chainsaw carving. Well, hands down, I think Andreas has done, Andreas and Stephie have taken this art form to the next level with team carvings, with live carvings, with an event that promotes not only his place but his country. And I mean, you go there and you park, you walk a mile up the hill, and everybody walks that mile.
Only three-quarter of a mile, according to the movie.
Okay.
But it feels like a mile.
It feels like a, yes, but it's a beautiful country, and you will be treated like kings and queens. It is absolutely beautiful.
Do I need the mic? Do I need the mic? Or you want to keep everything there?
No, I'll give it to him.
All right, guys, can you hear me with mic or without? Yeah. All right. So the movie starts with German brass music, and you can hear that not very much. And after that, now can you hear me better? Well, I still don't know. And I don't know. All right. In a moment, Jeffrey and Andreas are kidding around. Yeah, but now we bring it up. Oh no, you want to listen to me. Okay, fine. Leave it up that way, because there is a little bit of English within the movie. Not much. All right, now here they are questioning how do we greet each everybody, and they say finally, dear carvers, dear friends, mainly Liz, Randy, and Rick. In November 2015, I received the incredible news that I will be the first foreign carver to be featured on the Ridgeway Rendezvous 2016 sweatshirt. The magnitude of this honor bestowed upon me can only be assessed by you, the carvers, because you know the history of the rendezvous. Already at this point, I have a heartfelt thanks, and I quite deliberately say our heartfelt thanks. Without my wife Stephie, carver Andreas Martin would only be one of many who would have, in the history of the chainsaw carvers, be only on the middle place. Another surprise was the fact that the Husky Cup and I are named in the second edition of the book by Jesse Grushin, The Art of Chainsaw Carving. Another special thanks to Edith Blazara of Austria, who designed the motif on the sweatshirt of the Ridgeway Rendezvous. They tell me Soundsager, the wild boar carver. Female wild boars are also known as sows, so I am the sowing the sows. Wild boars are almost as popular in Germany as the bears are with you in America. My carvings have their special touch with the main theme of the wild boar, but it would probably not be enough to be the first place honor on their t-shirts. I miss a lot of stuff. Could you stop that? You saw Stephie earlier, and she said, we believe we have given a home to chainsaw carvers around the world with the Husky Cup and Blockhausen, a place where people like to return again and again, which we consider to be the center of the art of carving with a chainsaw. If we are honored by you for that, it makes us very happy. The Rendezvous lives because there are Liz and Rick and many helpers. Andreas and I are the motors of the Husky Cup. Also we can depend on loyal team members. Okay, keep going.
Let it catch up.
Yeah, now you In the year in 2012 at Pentecost, it will be like the Russian fairy tale when they carve 5 life-size horses and riders going to the fairy tale Hebammengeschichte, Midwife Story by Sabine Ebert. The
Das Rendezvous lebt, weil es Liz und Rick und die vielen Helfer gibt. Andreas und ich sind die Motoren des Husky Cups und können uns auch auf treue Mitstreiter berufen und zurückgreifen.
Your head.
Wir beginnen heute wie im russischen Märchen und es wird wieder märchenhaft werden zu fixen. Wir haben dieses Jahr
Now here he looks tame. He looks much wilder on other pictures.
Aus der Hebammengeschichte von der Sabine Ebert.
This,
Lukas,
yeah, you know,
Christian,
okay. He explained the midwife story. Much which was auctioned in and was sponsored by from companies. Each year, we had more people. In 2012, we counted more than 9,000 visitors. That was 4 years ago. No, volume up.
We're carving the horse with the marshal, and first making the horse, and then my teammate Thomas Verba will be making the rider to sit on top of the horse.
The best chainsaw carvers of the world are there from Dorf Chemnitz, from Germany, from Austria, England, Ecuador, United States. Walking belongs to the stars of the carving scene, but also for the American, this project is unique, especially the wood.
Für den Amerikaner ist dieses Projekt einmalig und das Holz. German Oak, it is oak. Das ist deutsche Eiche, ein tolles Holz, aber es ist hart und schwer. Habe ich gesagt, schwer? Sehr schwer. It's very heavy.
And that is something like a praise to Andreas Martin, who is the organizer of the Chainsaw World Championship and had to organize the wood and look that there was enough to cut away by the artists. The wood was auctioned from a local state forest. Andreas is telling that it was an original price for 16,000 euro. My wife got gray hair when I told her what I did, but at the end it was only 7,000. And the wood was just enough. Until Pentecost Monday, the wood chips keep flying, and on Pentecost Monday the decision will be felt who can call himself world champion in chainsaw carving, according to the TV report from 2015.
Im Erzgebirge zwischen Dorf Chemnitz und Mulda.
And the chainsaws are roaring between Dorf Chemnitz and Mulda, where the best chainsaw carvers from USA, Russia, Austria, Canada are competing. Altogether, the artists have 5 days' time to do their carvings to the theme Hunt.
Entstehen echte Kunstwerke. 26 Säger aus 8 Ländern wollen das Preisgeld einsacken. Im Vordergrund stehen aber die Ehre dabei
Here,
zu
real
sein
pieces
und
of
der
art are
Spaß an
being
der
carved.
Sache.
26 carvers and 8 different countries want to earn the prizes, but predominantly it's the honor to be there and the fun of the experience, and that was about 4 years ago. This text.
Ich war schon 4-mal hier und für mich ist es das erste Mal. Es ist echt toll.
Yes. The motto that year was called Hunt, and in Australia, first thing you think of is crocodiles.
One of the favorites is Bob King from the USA, and he and his team are working on an Indian who is bringing down a buffalo while riding on a horse. Works like this are worth to take a long trip for some. As answer to the question whether Andreas has seen that many people in this one place, he says, every year. The auction of speed carving figures goes also this year without problems, and people love it. Nothing stays behind.
Diesmal leider ohne Schabo, erfreut sich aber trotzdem immer wieder großer Beliebtheit. Da gibt es keine Ladenhütung. 800 zum Zweiten.
Okay, 800 euro, 850 euro, 900.
900, wer will die 900? Wer will die 900? 850 zum Ersten.
And here's a call for 1,000. €1,000 is about 1,100, 1,150 dollars. 1,100, I think. In 2012, Andreas said at the end of the 5 days, as I said earlier, after Pentecost, before Pentecost, the plans for next year are already in my head. I'm not sure my wife is with me on that. We thank you all for being here, helping here. It's a job well done. A lot of these pictures are from 2012. These are these 5 figures.
Und wir haben unseren 13. Wettbewerb.
You gather here for the 17th time, and this year we will have our 13th competition. In 2004, we started just like you. What's the bed? I have to go back here. 8 carvers from Germany and perhaps 600 visitors. Now there are up to 30 carvers from around the world, up to 10,000 visitors. Imagine, guests walk from the parking lot only 3/4 of a mile to the competition location. It is in our forest with its blockhouses, and since 2004 it has grown. In 1997 I started with the chainsaw carving. Most of the time there were boars. My work was mostly wild boars. In Ridgeway in 2003 I saw for the first time what is possible. That made me curious to find out other themes. In the following years, we were carving all across Germany, around the world: USA, Canada, Brazil, Japan, Australia, England, Norway, Holland, Denmark, and Austria. When you come by plane, you cannot take your carvings home. Except for the honor and experience to be there, you rarely could keep anything else as memory. We have come to the decision that all the main sculptures of the Husky Cup remain with us and will not be auctioned off. They get auctioned off, given away, or sold, and they are part of the permanent exhibition. To keep it reasonably fair, we now pay to each carver travel expenses for flights or vehicle mileage and €1,000 for the €1,000 for the artwork. We have €11,000 in prize money to provide wood, gas, oil, accommodations, food, and all drinks. In order to finance the competition, all visitors 16 years and older pay the entrance fee of €10. We need at least 7,000 visitors and good weather every year to cover the cost. There are very few financial resources from sponsors, but the material support is better. So we know very well the risk. In 2010, it was the eruption of a volcano on Iceland. The people were worried about air traffic. This lady here says she hopes that the ash cloud should not stop the visitors from coming. The next part is remember of one visitor who insisted to come back no matter for what, even if it was for cleaning bathrooms. At the airport, by the way. I forgot that. No, keep going. That doesn't give you any comment.
Einsammelnder Künstler am Dresdner Flughafen wurden die Nerven der Abholer gestresst. Kaum ein Flieger landete pünktlich. Schließlich waren dann aber alle 24 Meister dazu.
Okay, the visitors at the airport came all late to the ash cloud mentioned earlier. It was very stressful, but finally all carvers had arrived. 24 carvers, 9 countries, 4 continents. Why do people like to come to Blockhausen? Is it the noodles? The German oak trees? No, it's the people, especially the hosts. If the people in the world could be all communicated like each other, like in Blockhausen, then the Earth would be a peaceful planet. Now they're going down in a mine 150 yards down, 150 meters down. Let's done a little bit of sightseeing. Hard coal. They do have silver in that area too.
Silver, yeah.
But that's a mine. You'll see they go through coal tunnels in a moment. We used a little bit of English in that one. It seems to be all coal around here, right? Right through the tunnel. And when they say, look out, as the coal miners breathe. After the hot tub and the lunch, back to work. It's Pentecost, right? It's not chocolate. It's
Best show ever.
I don't know what he needs. Stove. I don't know what he's heating up here. Doesn't show. Now at this late hour, with all these glasses, it's very difficult to pronounce some German words. And one of them would be blueberry jam, Blaubeermarmelade. That's coming in a moment.
Zu später Stunde kann man diese fremdländischen Namen kaum noch aussprechen. Blaubeermarmelade. Blöder Name. Wie heißt die Marmelade?
And More fun in the hot tub. Okay, but listen, Rick, the experience that remains with us, the organizers, and all of you as the carvers, no one can take that away from us. Since everybody stays full-time in the competition area, works, celebrates, drinks, pays, and no one has to go to a hotel, that creates a unique Husky Cup feeling that makes carvers, helpers, and all of us a family. And so, for us, after Husky Cup, it's the same as before Husky Cup. We strive to organize something very special every year. This year we invite two guests of honor to us. Whether we succeed in bringing Ray Murphy, the father of chainsaw carving, to Germany, we will only know when he is here. Steve Backus, the pioneer of the second generation, has assured us of his coming. They will tell us and offer visitors about the history of the chainsaw carving. Europe looks very much to America, and when something new arises, then it does not take long and we Europeans copy it. This can be something as great as a chainsaw carving or even the very healthy diet of fast food. That you are so successful is because the boldest, most innovative, and the most advanced Europeans emigrated, and you are their descendants. I hope you understand my little irony when I ask whether everyone can show us on the world map where Germany is. I'm good on time here. You live in the United States, in such a magnificent country that you can be almost oblivious of the rest of the world. But it is not like that at all. When the Boney brothers met with other carvers in the year 2000 for the first time, no one would have believed that the Rendezvous would evolve like it did, and no carvers came from all around the world to Ridgeway. When Stephie and I were with you for the first time in 2003, it was the experience that changed our lives somewhat. I can still see us in the Boney house where some of the carvers contestant lived. We spoke with Kijai, pronunciation correct, I don't know, and his wife that week, and I had the feeling that everybody felt very comfortable. Liz seemed not to have been bothered by all the confusion, and Stephie could not imagine such a thing in our house. 3 years later, we experienced it ourselves. And loved it when the carvers from all over the world were in our house as guests. Good timing. Here are some examples of some of the carvings from recent years. In 2008, the theme was relative forest, nature, cabins. In 2009, we focused more on themes in order to display the art pieces more effectively. 2009, 16 columns for the large log cabin. They were shown the spirit and the soul of the forest. Okay, in 24, the roof, the coal miners in historic uniforms. 2011, apiaries for the beekeeping display. Did you pass it by?
Yeah, keep going.
Life-size horse riders, the 12 signs of the zodiac, and 4 elements. Ghosts, witches, and mystical figures in 214. Hunting scenes from the early period in the Middle Ages in 2015. And this year, the Vikings invade an English village. Over the last 12 years, more than 100 characters have been created. These are on display on our land, and everyone can always visit for free. They are now our treasure, and more than 35,000 visitors a year come to us to see the work of arts. We are funding the whole thing with gastronomy, carving courses, renting out a small hut, bus tour events, and farm and forest work. In Saxony, In Saxony, we have become a so-called tourist lighthouse. And we will be getting a large billboard already approved by the Highway Department. Just a few attractions are permitted to have these signs, like old castles and fortresses. Incidentally, the silhouette of the rider on the sign is based on a figure from the Team USA 1 from 2012. We have only changed the sword from the original into a chainsaw. In early March it will be installed. I am very excited about what Google Analytics will then report about the website. If we call our competition World Cup, Team World Cup, World Championship, it will be primarily good for marketing. But since the international carvers at the Husky Cup are known as the best in the world, we think that the title of World Cup is almost justified and nobody will oppose it. USA, England, Germany and Japan should think about the organization of the real World Cup. By the way, the name Husky Cup comes from Husqvarna. The name of the Husqvarna chainsaw is called lovingly Husky. And that's how the name came to. Sometimes I'm asked, when are we going to start the Hundeschlitten, the dog sleds? Since Andreas is supported by Husqvarna, we had hoped that our sponsor would be more committed, but that is very much within limits. Echo and Steel are much more active. In 1996, we bought some woods. Did we get through the picture already? In the same year, I learned from a Canadian and a German how to build a Canadian log cabin. Since you cannot build just anywhere and any way you want in Germany, we had a long, extensive and expensive approval procedure. In 1999, I built the first log cabin in our forest. Then the access road, electric line, wells, wastewater treatment were completed. In 2005, the second log cabin was built in 2009, the last one for now. And here is pointing at the American eagle flying over. Swinging a little bit too far. It is. In 2008, we built the longest table with 130.5 feet, according to the Guinness Book of Records in 2010. And in 2012, the long roof was erected over it. In 2014, we installed on the roof a large photovoltaic plant. Now we produce a lot of the electricity ourselves. And then a brewery got involved. The brewery wanted to know how many beer bottles would fit on the longest table of the world, and it was a new record in one single table. We had 10,170 bottles on it. And Andreas had a good rest on these bottles. I'm sure there were already new projects in Andreas's head under his unruly curly hair. He always has great ideas. In 2009, we created specifically for the carving competition places with electrical connections. Since we were of the opinion that on the Walk of Fame in Los Angeles a carver would never get a star, in 2010 we allowed ourselves to start the Chainsaw Carvers Walk of Fame. With that we honor people who have made outstanding contributions to the carving in the world and Blockhausen. 20 stars are already taken. And they call the stars the sprockets because there's got on the chainsaw. And Liz and Rick Boney hold the first one. And the second one goes to Bob King.
Jahren das größte Kettensägenschnitzertreffen auf der ganzen Welt.
That they both were the ones who made chainsaw carving what it is today.
Jetzt will ich noch sagen, dass ich das für Preis gebe. Ja, die kriegen 800 €, das ist immer in der Hand.
That's a minor uniform here.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it with all of the carvers who believed in what they do. They love their art. They make it easy for the rest of us to do what we do. Erstmal auch gesagt, ohne die Schnitzer, die das an das glauben, was sie tun, wäre es gar nicht möglich gewesen, dass das so weit gekommen ist.
I've always wanted to have friends worldwide that were involved in the arts, and I just couldn't be happier. This is just amazing. A beautiful country and beautiful people, and thank you.
Ich bedanke mich ganz herzlich und auch ganz tolle Freunde von aus der Welt. Das ist ganz wundervoll, ja.
Okay. After college, I worked as a state forester from 1981 to 2010. In 2011, I gave up my secure job and just wanted to be a carver and shape our lives with Blockhausen and carving. Meanwhile, they have cut out my intestines. The doctor told me that the tremor is Parkinson's disease, and now I just received a new knee. This year, I'm going to be 60 years old, and now we must take it easy. The main thing is that the Husky Cup remains, so it is only half as bad. I have a great wife and 4 children, and children-in-law, 2 grandchildren. A little bit ahead of the game.
4 Kinder, 2 Enkelkinder, 15 schottische Hochlandrinder, 12 Schafe, 2 Jagdhunde.
Okay, plus 15 Scottish Highland cattle, 12 sheep, 2 hunting dogs. In Germany, we have the statutory health insurance, and we have you, the family of chainsaw carvers. Many thanks to all. Okay, I'll try to get hold of it.
We're going to be Skyping live in just a couple
They took
minutes.
a lot of power.
But I wanted to share with you that when we did go to Germany that year, it was the volcanic ash